during the pandemic and how to get the businesses through it. And you were just an incredible voice of calm who led us through those times. I want to thank you for everything you've done there. Also, some other business leaders as well. Always something going on. I want to talk about a specific issue. We talk a lot about crime, but there's one crime that was truly on the rise during the pandemic and during the aftermath, and that was retail theft. I went around the state, convened groups with small business leaders, the chambers of commerce, the bodega owners, the drugstore owners, and there was this panic because there was so much evidence of retail theft, whether it's just one person coming in, but oftentimes there was an organized crime operation behind it that was getting people to just literally go in and sweep the shelves, throw them in a vehicle, and put it online and sell it. And so we went at this pretty aggressively with the legislature, and I made a vow. I mean, these people came through a lot. They came through the pandemic, and they certainly don't need their inventory stolen right before their eyes. Plus, there was a high number of retail workers being assaulted, and in my opinion, the laws did not protect them adequately. So we sprung into action, and I will say there was a peak around 2022, right when I was coming into office, and I said we'd go after this. So how do you do this? First of all, we've invested an enormous amount of money overall in public safety. Nearly $3 billion, unprecedented numbers, dedicated to all aspects of fighting crime and making our neighborhoods safer. But with respect to retail theft, we established teams to go into neighborhoods. I had 100 people from state police alone to work with the mayor and the mayor's office to try to address this. We had a first ever joint operation on retail theft. And then we said, we passed stronger laws. We had to make the penalties higher for assaults on retail workers. This was really important to them. They really appreciate that they have value, but they're also on the front lines. I mean, they're alone in a shop, and there's a lot of things that can be done with them without anybody being able to respond and protect them. So that was happening, and now those numbers are declining as well. We also made it easier to go after the third-party sellers who are selling online, so we shut a lot of that down. Also, we provided a tax credit so businesses that were struggling could have money to at least buy a few security cameras and enhance security in their operations. And so, as we did this a year and a half ago, I wanted to ask my team, well, how are the numbers looking? Is it making a difference? Because I judge by whether or not the crimes are going down. Well, we're down almost 12% just from last year. And as I talked to some of the business owners, I stopped in on my way here, they feel it as well. They don't feel that they're under siege as much as they had been before, and they're grateful for the work of law enforcement, number one, but also they know that significant laws were changed in the state legislature because I knew that needed to happen. So that's a good news story. There's other great news stories. I mean, the fact that murders are down 21% in New York City as well as 19% statewide, that is incredible. Shootings are down 20%. But again, you'll never hear me say we're done. We don't rest on our laurels. We never say mission accomplished, because one crime is one crime too many. And so we're going to continue that effort. But just to come out here again, neighborhoods that I visited during the height of this crisis, to hear from them on whether they feel the effects. And the answer is a resounding yes. But that just goes to show the power of working together with the community, the leaders of the business community, taking their voices to Albany, getting the changes we need, and now the numbers are showing a much, much better direction than the trajectory we had been on. So with that, let me turn it over to Jessica Walker to give you some observations from the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, and again, grateful for all the work she does as well.
Thank you so much, Governor. Harlem has turned a corner, and the whole city has turned a corner when it comes to crime. We are so grateful to the governor for listening to the small business community when we said that retail theft was out of control. She took action, and we are now starting to see the fruit from that action. Discovery reform is another big step that we thought that we needed, and she got it done. We are so grateful that we are starting to see and witness the changes that businesses are feeling. We are very thankful. She said there is more work to do, but we are very, very confident in our collaboration, working with the governor and the mayor to get it done. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'd like to hear from one of the leaders that I rely on for guidance when we're fighting crime, and that is Captain Young. We'll have a few words from her as well.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of Superintendent James and all of our members, I'd like to thank Governor Hochul for her ongoing support and for her ongoing steadfast dedication to our mission to reduce retail theft crime. This initiative began in March of 2024, and we have collaborated with law enforcement partners and retail businesses to focus on strategies and target these organized retail theft rings. The results have been over 1,000 arrests and millions of dollars in stolen goods recovered, including a case in Queens that involved about $4 million recovered in stolen merchandise. And we are not done. We have ongoing investigations that are continuing, these long-term investigations, and we will have more arrests and more recoveries of stolen property. Thank you again, Governor Hochul, for all your support for the New York State Police in this endeavor.
Thank you. So it's working. Any questions?
We'll take a couple on-topic questions, guys, if you could really project. Obviously, we have some...
Governor Kathy Hochul spoke at a press conference about the progress New York has made in tackling retail theft, a problem that spiked during the pandemic and its aftermath. She explained that small business owners across the state, from bodegas to drugstores, were sounding the alarm as theft cases surged. Many of these incidents weren't just random shoplifters but organized groups sweeping shelves, loading cars, and reselling goods online. Retail workers were also facing assaults, often without adequate legal protections. Hochul described how her administration responded, committing nearly $3 billion to public safety efforts, including a dedicated focus on retail theft. She deployed a 100-member state police team to work with local authorities, launching the first joint operation targeting retail theft. Lawmakers also passed stronger penalties for assaults against store workers, giving them more recognition as frontline employees in high-risk situations. Another part of the strategy involved closing off online marketplaces for stolen goods. The state took steps to make it harder for third-party sellers to move stolen items, while small businesses were given tax credits to install cameras and strengthen security. According to Hochul, these measures have paid off. Retail theft is down nearly 12% from last year, and business owners she recently visited said they no longer feel as overwhelmed as before. She also pointed to broader public safety improvements. Murders have dropped by 21% in New York City and 19% statewide, while shootings are down 20%. Still, Hochul emphasized that the work is not finished, noting that one crime is one too many and promising continued action. Business leaders echoed her message. Jessica Walker of the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce thanked the governor for listening to the concerns of small businesses and pushing for reforms like discovery changes, which they believed were necessary. She said businesses are already feeling the difference and expressed confidence in continued collaboration with state and city leaders. Law enforcement officials also praised the initiative. Captain Young, speaking on behalf of the state police, reported more than 1,000 arrests since March 2024 and millions of dollars in recovered goods, including a single case in Queens involving $4 million worth of merchandise. She added that investigations are ongoing and more recoveries are expected. The press conference closed with a clear message. The coordinated efforts of state leadership, law enforcement, and business owners are turning the tide against retail theft, restoring safety and confidence to communities across New York.